Meantime, Megyn, I'm sure your ears have been burning because much of the street's been asking who was the reporter that posed the question to the president about the taco trade. Let's take a listen to that piece of sound.
It's called negotiation. You set a number. And if you go down, if I set a number at a ridiculous high number and I go down a little bit, a little bit, they want me to hold that number, 145% tariff. Even I said, man, that really got up. He said, whoa, that's high. That's high. They were doing no business whatsoever. And they were having a lot of problems. We were doing no business because of the tariff, because it was so high. But I knew that. But don't ever say what you said. That's a nasty question. Go ahead. To me, that's the nastiest question.
Megyn, a lot of people probably wonder what it was like posing that question to the president.
Carl, it's something that has gone a lot further than I think I, in the moment, really expected. To me, this was something that had been making the rounds on Wall Street a little bit, been written up in the Journal, the Times, and so it felt like it was a chance to ask the president about it directly and to give him a chance really to defend this strategy, asking, what were these analysts missing when they were saying that Trump was chickening out on this. We've heard him use the nasty question moniker before, not something I was going for when I asked this question, but it did sort of touch on this sort of broader question. Has the president been bluffing too much? And now with this court ruling, we do have to wonder what that means for the president's leverage. He was saying there that all of these tariffs have been foremost, I would say, about generating leverage and making sure countries are coming to the table and offering something. And now with this ruling, if the tariffs are no longer, if he doesn't have the authority to impose them, are countries continuing, will they continue to be willing to offer things up? That's what we have to wait and see at this point.
Yeah, and Megyn, you've done such a great job for us, obviously, covering all these different aspects of trade, as difficult as they might be, and all the numbers associated with them. We've been positing the idea this morning that this simply creates more uncertainty, because, again, we're just not sure on the road. Would you agree with that as at least an early conclusion here in terms of this court ruling?
For sure. I think that's definitely fair, just because markets, investors, businesses had at least started to become accustomed to what was in place, what we've been talking about now since April. If all of that is up in the air, as I just laid out, the administration has a number of options they have to turn to, but now everybody has to take a look at those statutes and say, what do those mean? And one of the things I think that we've been trying to hit on every time we talk about this, and you guys know this, is that even while these country-specific negotiations have been ongoing and have been sort of in limbo and on pause, the sectoral investigations are the ones that are much more likely to stay in place. If you think about the national security tariffs from the first term, the China tariffs from the first term, those were never challenged. This court challenge could ultimately be successful. Maybe it's overturned. We don't know yet. But while there's so much uncertainty there, the administration keeps moving on the much more permanent paths forward, and that could lead to even more tariffs ultimately. So we are certainly not at the end of this story.
No, nowhere near. And of course, yeah, it bears mentioning the International Emergency Economic Powers Act is what was at stake here. And of course, the key question being, is it really an emergency? Is it any different than many other times in U.S. history? Megyn, thank you. Megyn Cassell at the White House.